I got Scott Spector in the studio with me. Scott, of course, is the principal at Albert Einstein, the elementary, right?
Correct, the elementary school.
Cool. And Scott has a radio voice. I was telling him I said, put the mic close to your mouth. He goes, don't worry, I've never had that trouble. Everybody hears me.
5 classrooms down, they tell me, great lecture, but you know what? Keep it down a little bit. We can't hear.
I used to have a guy who would say he could hear me outside the building. So, I think that's just as bad. So, do you teach a class too besides being the principal?
I am not teaching. We have gone through so much this year in terms of what we've gotten through just to open the school there. I would love to eventually at some point in time. I've always been a believer that the administration should also teach just to keep their hand in it, just to see what's going on, make sure to keep their pulse on the beat. But for right now, we've just gone through so much to get where we are. It's impossible to do that right now.
That is, I love your philosophy, though. Because once you get to be the principal, you're so far away from the kids, you forget what it's like to be a teacher, or especially a kid.
Yeah, no question about that. And I've always I taught at the university level. So even when I was out of the classroom back at the high school level, I was still teaching at the university level, which still gets you to keep your foot in the door. You get a pulse on what's going on with the kids, with the teachers, and all that stuff. So it's still good experience.
So how many years has the elementary school just opened? Right.
This is our first year. We just opened in September. We've got about 621 strong, plus some homeschool students. I think you had Michael Fischler, who's running the homeschool here. A week or two ago. So we're doing a good job. We've opened with pretty close to a full capacity for both. Kids are having a great time. We're out at the Acton and Agua Dulce campuses out there, and the kids are going out there on a daily basis, and they're showing up almost 100% strong every day. So hasn't been easy, but we've gotten to the point where we are right now, and everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing. Cool.
Well, I love your school's philosophy and everything. We've had a lot of teachers in here, and a couple of you administrators. No, he seems very nice for a principal.
Yeah, exactly. And until you have to go to the principal's office, is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Well, no. See, I was smarter. I became like real buddy with the assistant principal. So when I got in trouble, he would just go, "Verna, you're making me look bad."
That's one or two approaches.
It was the much better approach.
Yep.
I wasn't really. I was a pretty good kid. Yeah. But I wish I could have gone to your school. Hey, maybe. How old do you have to be? I think I'm too old.
Any eligibility left?
No, I think I'm pretty much over for that one, right? So if someone's interested in taking, because really, what a great way to do this. Get them in the elementary level. Is it, again, it's the same thing. You go to your website?
Yeah, you can go to the website, the aeals.org website, and go in there, and it's got all the applications. I don't believe we've put the application for next year out yet. That'll probably come after the first of the year. There are a few open spots right now for the elementary school. We get a couple people filling those each week, but we'll be probably at full capacity, maybe by February, by the end of January, beginning of February, back up to full capacity, which is where we were at before we opened and had to move and all that stuff. But we've got classes 25-to-1 ratio, so no more than 25 kids in a class. The teachers are loving it. A lot of our teachers have come from other public schools where you had 35, 37, 39 in a class.
It's so important to make it a little smaller so the kids feel like you're there for them.
Right. It's more of a one-to-one. One of the other things that I wanted to get to, but we haven't been able to with the move out there, is working with some of the other colleges and universities in this area, some of the community colleges, and getting some of those kids that are interested in STEM or STEAM careers, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, working with us at the school. It was something that I had put in place, and when we had to make the move to Acton, it's kind of hard for some of those kids that are still students to get out there on a daily basis. But when we move back in here, whether it be at the end of this year or next year, then I'd like to get that in place, and then the ratio goes down even further. So instead of 25-to-1, you might have 2 or 3 students working with the teacher in a class, and now we get it down to 7 or 8-to-1, and that makes a huge difference for the kids. Oh my
gosh, yeah, that's like private tutoring.
Yeah, exactly, in a public school environment. So it's the school, in terms of the ideas that I've sold them on, a little bit different. We're a STEAM-based school. In other words, we focus on science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, and we focus on an integrated approach. So when you go to class, eventually you won't just be going to a math class or an English or a science class. You'll be going to a class that has one project, and through that project are all the threads of English and math and science and social studies. So the kids learn about those subjects within the context of where they'll see it in real life.
That's the way it should have been. It's funny because I'm thinking about this. I wish someone would have turned me on to science much younger than, because by the time I got, biology was in 10th grade. You know, I don't remember having science really before that.
You can ask some of our kindergartners and first graders, and they'll talk to you about engineers and how engineers design and develop things. I was in a classroom on Monday or Tuesday, and they were designing baskets to carry pumpkins in for Thanksgiving holiday, and designing baskets to carry their hearths in and things like that. And they were approaching it like we want an engineer to approach it, and how they would design it, test it, try it out, see if it doesn't work, go back to the drawing board, retest it,
Wow.
configure it, and then go at it again. So we will get to where we want to within the next year. We're not there yet in terms of the philosophy and the STEAM throughout all the classes all the time, but little by little, the teachers are doing a great job, and they're getting there with the kids.
Sounds like the future to me.
Yep.
Scott Spector from Albert Einstein Academy, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.